Welcome children. Today my topic is units and measurement from class 11th CBSE Physics. Measurement has a major role in physics. So to study or to describe various laws in physics, it involves measurement and comparison of various physical quantities. So in order to measure an unknown quantity, we have to compare that unknown quantity with a known quantity which is having the same nature as that of the unknown quantity. Okay. Suppose I want to measure this unknown quantity. This I don't know the length of this object. I don't know the length of this object. So what I am doing is I am comparing this unknown quantity with a known quantity. This is a scale. The scale measurement already we know. So using this known quantity, we are measuring this unknown quantity, and this comparison of known quantity with unknown quantity can be called as measurement. So measurement is the comparison of unknown quantity with a known quantity. So measurement mainly involves comparison of unknown quantity with a known quantity, and that known quantity or the standard quantity used for measurement can be called as the unit. So unit is the chosen standard of measurement which has the same nature as that of the object to be measured. So in order to measure an unknown object, we should need one standard quantity, and that standard quantity can be called as which one? Unit. So unit is the standard quantity used for measurement. So only by comparing with the standard quantity we can measure any other unknown quantities. Clear? So here I told I want to measure which one? The length of this object. So what I am doing is I am comparing this with a known quantity. This is a scale here. So I am measuring the length using this scale. Suppose I am getting length as 7 centimeter. So I am taking length equals 7 centimeter. So by comparing with the scale, I measured the length of this object. So length equals how much centimeter? 7 centimeter here. So this measurement mainly involves two processes. First one is selection of unit. So first of all we have to select the unit. So here I told I want to measure the length. So first of all we have to select in which unit we have to measure this one. So we are using a scale. So using centimeter. So the unit is centimeter and we are using a scale to measure which one? The length of this object. So first one is selection of unit. Then what we are doing? We are comparing. Second one is comparing the unknown quantity. Comparing the unknown quantity with the known quantity. So measurement mainly involves two processes. First one is selection of units. We have to select in which unit we are measuring that particular physical quantity. Then second one is comparing this unknown quantity with the standard or known quantity. That standard quantity is called as which one? Unit. Okay. And we have an authority called as General Conference of Weights and Measures. General Conference of Weights and Measures. And this authority is having the right to decide units. So the unit we cannot decide. Clear? So there is some authority to decide the unit, and that authority is called as General Conference of Weights and Measures. So measurement I told you, it is the comparison of unknown quantity with a known quantity can be called as which one? Measurement. And its standard quantity used for measurement can be called as unit. Or we can say this is chosen standard of measurement which has the same nature as that of the object to be measured. That is called as which one? Unit. Then this General Conference of Weights and Measures, they have the right to decide unit. And in measurement we have two processes. First one is selection of unit. First of all we have to select the unit, in which unit we are measuring that quantity. Then second one, comparing that unknown quantity with the known quantity. Clear? for example, suppose I am taking length of an object as 5 centimeter, and when we are comparing this unknown quantity with a known quantity, it shows that how many times this particular unit is contained in this physical quantity. Clear? Similarly, I am taking force equals 7 Newton. That shows that how many times this particular unit, that is Newton, is contained in which physical quantity? Force. Clear? So this, when we are comparing one unknown quantity with a known quantity, that shows that how many times that particular unit is contained in that physical quantity. Clear? Suppose I am taking one physical quantity as Q. Q is a physical quantity. I can write this quantity Q as N into U. That means you can compare with this one. Okay. And this N indicates which one? One numerical value. N is a numerical value. Numerical value. And this U indicates unit. U indicates unit. And this is the magnitude of physical quantity. Magnitude of physical quantity. So we can write as magnitude of physical quantity equals a numerical value into size of unit. Clear? That is a relation connecting this one. Okay. So magnitude of physical quantity is equal to numerical value into size of unit. Clear? Then, and this unit, the size of unit will differ in different systems. So size of unit will change. So size of unit will change in different systems. Suppose I am taking one physical quantity. I am taking one physical quantity as Q. Q is a physical quantity. Physical quantity. And in one system, so there are so many systems of units we will be studying later. So in one system I am taking U1 is the unit. Unit in system 1. In system 1, and I am taking N1 is the numerical value. Numerical value in the same system, system 1. And similarly I am taking another one system, system 2. So in system 2, let U2 be the unit. Unit in system 2. System 2. Then N2. I am taking numerical value. Numerical value in which one? System 2. Then we can write as Q equals, already we studied Q equals, how we can write Q equal to N into U. So like that, in first system, in system 1 I am writing as Q equals, in system 1 what is the numerical value? N1 into, in system 1 what is the unit? U1. And similarly we can write in second system, the same physical quantity Q can be written as Q equals, in second system what is the numerical value? N2 into U2. But here we can see that left hand side the physical quantity is same only. Suppose it is length, means here also length, here also length. So physical quantity is same now. So left hand side is same. That means right hand side also will be same. So we can write as N1 U1 equals N2 U2. Or we can simply write N into U must be always constant. Clear? Suppose one example I am taking. This physical quantity I am taking is length. Physical quantity is length. Length is the taken physical quantity. And unit in system, unit of length, we have so many units, centimeter is there, then the meter is there, millimeter is there. So I am taking here meter, U1 as meter. So meter is the unit in system 1. Okay. And similarly N1 I am taking as 1. Numerical value I am taking here as 1. Okay. So here I am taking meter and here I am taking numerical value as 1. And in second system, system 2 I am taking the unit of length as centimeter. So here I am taking the unit as centimeter. Okay. And correspondingly we know 1 meter equal to how much centimeter? 100 centimeter. So numerical value here will be 100. Clear? 100. So how can we write this formula now? N1 U1 equal to N2 U2 means what is N1 here? 1. 1 into what is U1? Meter. So 1 meter. 1 meter equals, then what is N2? 100. 100. What is U2 here? Centimeter. So 1 meter equals 100 centimeter. So this unit will change. The size of unit will change, but its product will be always constant. That is 1 meter must be equivalent to which one? 100 centimeter. That means that N into U always remains constant. But its unit as well as numerical value will change. But the common, that is product of N into U remains always constant. So here 1 meter equal to 100 centimeters. So the size of unit will differ in different systems. But the total product of that numerical value and that unit will always remain constant. Clear? Next we can study about what is a physical quantity. So physical quantities means quantities which can be measured directly or indirectly, and we can apply for various laws in physics. That is called as which one? Physical quantities. That means quantities which can be measured directly or indirectly can be called as physical quantities. For example, length, mass, time, force, acceleration, velocity, like that. And these physical quantities mainly we can classify into two as fundamental quantities and derived quantities. So fundamental quantities means quantities which are independent quantities, and they will not depend on any other physical quantity. That is called as which one? Fundamental quantities. They are independent and they will not depend on any other physical quantity. For example, the major fundamental quantities are length, mass and time. Length, mass, time. Similarly, derived quantity means they are dependent quantities. They will be depending on fundamental quantities. So they depends on fundamental quantities. Okay. For example, I am taking force, velocity, acceleration. Why this force is considered as a derived quantity? We know what is the formula for force. F is equal to mass into acceleration. So it is depending on mass, and this acceleration itself is again which one? It is a derived quantity only. So acceleration, how can we write? Acceleration is equal to velocity divided by time, and velocity equal to displacement by time. Like that, these quantities are depending on this fundamental quantities. So derived quantities will depend on fundamental quantities. Okay, so like that we can classify physical quantity into two as fundamental quantity as well as derived quantities. Now, what is fundamental unit and derived unit? The units of fundamental quantities can be called as fundamental units. We know that the fundamental quantities are mass, length and time. So these units of this mass, length and time can be called as fundamental units. So we have unit of mass, kilogram, unit of length, meter, unit of time, second. So these can be considered as a fundamental units. Similarly, derived units. That means units of derived quantities. For example, force is a derived quantity. So unit of force is Newton. Then acceleration is a derived quantity. So unit is meter per second square. Then velocity is a derived quantity. Unit is meter per second. So these are called as derived units. So units of derived quantities can be called as derived units, and units of fundamental quantities can be called as fundamental units. So next we can go for systems of units. already told you the size of unit will change for different systems. So in this chapter we are dealing with 4 main systems. So first one is FPS system. FPS system. Or its another one name is British Engineering System. British Engineering System. And we have 3 fundamental quantities: mass, length and time. Mass, length and time. So in FPS system, unit of mass is pound. P indicates pound. Pound. And unit of length is foot. F indicates foot. Then S indicates second. So unit of time is second. So this is the oldest system of unit. Then second one is CGS system. CGS system. It is also known as Gaussian system. Gaussian system. So in this system also, first of all I am writing mass. Mass unit is, here G indicates gram. Gram. Then length. Length unit is C indicates centimeter. Centimeter. The last one, time indicates, time unit is S. S means seconds. So these are the units in CGS system. Next, third one is MKS system. MKS system. In MKS system, unit of mass is, K indicates kilogram. Then length, M indicates meter. Then time, S indicates seconds. So these are the units in MKS system. Then the last, fourth one is SI system. So MKS is third one and fourth one SI system. SI system is known as International System of Units. International System of Units. And this is the universally accepted system. Clear? And there is another one name also, Lay Systems International D units. This is actually a French word only. So this is a French equivalent of which one? International System of Units. The Lay Systems International D units. This is the French equivalent of International System of Units, and this one is the universally accepted system. And one more name is that it is also called as modified MKS system. Modified MKS system. Modified MKS system. And in this system we have 7 fundamental units. 7 fundamental units are there. 7 fundamental units. And 2 more subsidiary units are also there. Subsidiary quantities are also there. Supplementary quantities. Clear? So we have 7 fundamental units as well as 2 more supplementary quantities are there. Okay. So what are the 7 fundamental quantities? So first of all, quantity, unit symbol. So we have 7 fundamental quantities. First one, mass. Unit is kilogram. Symbol is kg. Then second one, length. Unit is meter. Symbol m. Third one, time. Unit is seconds. Symbol is S. Fourth one, temperature. Unit is Kelvin. Symbol is K. Then fifth one, electric current. Unit is ampere. Symbol is A. Sixth one, luminous intensity. Luminous intensity. Unit is candela. Symbol CD. Then seventh one, amount of substance. Amount of substance. Unit is mole. Symbol is mole, mole itself. Okay? Then two more units are there. Two more quantities are there. One is plane angle. Plane angle. Unit is radian. Symbol RAD. Then one more, solid angle. Unit is steradian. Steradian. Symbol is SR. So these are the fundamental quantities in SI system. That is the international accepted system. So this much about the units, and remaining portions we can see in the next video.